He lit the stove and fried the seaweed in the pan for a while. After taking it out, he shook off the oil. Then he put a piece in his mouth and chewed for a bit. Gradually, his face twisted. He spat it out. His seaweed was almost all fried. The oil splattered from the fried seaweed and left burns on his skin that would stay for many years. Looking at the empty boxes, was his business going to fail? Suddenly he saw a pack on the floor. He put it into the oil and fried it for a while. When he took it out, he saw it was dry and not oily. Exactly what he wanted. He put it in his mouth. The seaweed was crispy. The taste was right. He ate the whole piece. He picked up the pack of seaweed and noticed the packaging was damp. The secret to frying the seaweed was soaking it in water. Soon his seaweed became popular with customers. He wrote $1 million on the palm of his hand. Suddenly, his father called, telling him to take care of himself. Carl thought he could now help his family pay off their debts, but when his father told him they owed $40 million, he suddenly felt so small. When he got home, the house had been marked for foreclosure. To pay off the $40 million, he would have to work for 40 years without eating or drinking. One day, while he was out buying food, he noticed a plastic bag in front of him. He looked at the bag in his hand and then back up. There were 3 convenience stores on the street. They were part of a chain. An idea to expand sales was born. He quickly ran to the convenience store to get the phone number, putting on his father's suit. He went to the convenience store headquarters to meet the marketing manager and introduce his product. But when the manager saw his seaweed, she immediately rejected him. The packaging was too ugly and too big. It couldn't even fit on the shelves, and the price was set too high. He felt a bit discouraged. Back home, his girlfriend came to see him. She wanted her family to help him, but Carl had too much pride. He refused her help and harshly broke up with her. That night, he found the butler and lay down exhausted next to him. He didn't give up. The next morning, he took his seaweed to a branding company to redesign the packaging. He brought the new packaging to meet the manager, but the manager was in meetings all day. He waited from 1 p.m. only to see the manager walking back and forth inside, never coming out to meet him. His patience ran out. He took his seaweed and left. He left the seaweed with the elevator worker. When some employees from headquarters came up, they saw the seaweed on the floor and took a few packs to try. To their surprise, it was so good that they were licking their fingers. Soon the seaweed became a hit in the office. Carl was invited to a meeting. His seaweed would be stocked in 3,000 direct stores nationwide, and 72,000 convenience stores would carry his seaweed. A month later, the quality inspection team was coming to the factory. But where was his factory? He had been frying the seaweed in his kitchen at home. He went to the bank to ask for a loan to open a factory, but the staff saw he was only 19 and refused to give him the loan. Once again, he hit a low point. He sold his beloved car and rented a factory space to start his own factory. That night, he asked the butler what to do in case of failure. The butler told him not to overthink it. No one knows what the future holds. He personally supervised every step to make sure everything was ready before the inspection. But when the inspectors came, they found a lot of problems. At this point, the butler handed him an envelope and suggested he smooth things over. But he didn't want to do that. He fixed all the problems. The next day, the inspection results came via fax. But the ink had run out, and the result was barely visible. He quickly ran outside and held it up to the sunlight. It said passed. Everything he had sacrificed was worth it.